spitting off facts. Flex, the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Well, it's time to bleed this morning. Drew Titan Bronson on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I ain't gonna like this one. Ain't gonna like this one. Y'all ain't gonna like this one. That's okay. Come on in, smash the like button, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Pillow Biting Miguel to do anything for us. Because they ain't gonna like this one. And as usual, I don't care. I even went to Canelo fanatics. Pull on up. Let's have a conversation this morning. Let's have a conversation. Don't do a drive-by. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's have a conversation. Let's do this roll call. Jeff Spark, my brother, always supporting. Salute, man. Thank you so much. Steve Elder, Mac in the building. Coach Hudson gave me the daily bread this morning. Yes, sir. Salute to you. Go subscribe to our brother, Coach Hudson. Todd Swindle, Sam Mack, Del Riv, Camara, Chilltown Majors, Copper, what's going on? Yes, sir. Hen Dog, A Wavy, CD, BBO, what's going on? Bionic Prince, Rod Neal, Hen Dog, Jarrell Freeman, Windsor, what up, man? You see you in a minute. Todd French, Shalan. Yep. Yeah, bro. Steve, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Brooklyn Barnes, salute. Sensei, Stormy B-Man in the building. Eric Jordan, the real Mr. Shelton in the building. What's going on? Vince, main event Mark. All right, well, let's get to it. So, forgive my, I had to cancel the show yesterday because I was at my dad's house, and you know, it was the last barbecue of the summer. So the family gets together one last time to eat a bunch of stuff they ain't supposed to be eating. So I'm willing to bet everyone felt like crap this morning. Except me, not your man. Because I'm going to the gym right after I leave here. But anyway. So, I was watching the brother Blue Blood. He had a video yesterday. Lone Star, salute. And he reported something interesting, something that Alexander Usyk said. And I want to know, who disagrees with Alexander Usyk? I'm just curious, man. I just want to know who disagrees with Alexander Usyk. John, salute, John. Stormy B-Man in the building. Good morning, brother.
Yo, good morning, man. Good morning,
yes,
chat.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Right.
Stormy, they ain't gonna like this conversation, but we gonna have it.
Oh, yeah.
We gonna have it. So Blue spoke on what Usyk, they're asking him his thoughts on Bud versus Canelo, and he's picking Bud. And he put himself in Bud's box. I remember when Usyk was coming up from cruiserweight, the first thing was said was, I mean, look, he's a cruiserweight. I mean, he's a little heavy, but these guys are giants. I believe his first fight at heavyweight was it was Derek Chisora. He beat him. And he's just been winning ever since. He's been winning ever since. And they come to him and they ask him, hey, man, who do you got? And according to what I was listening to what Blue Blood had to say, Usyk picks Bud. Usyk knows what it's like to be the smaller guy. He's been outsized since he got to the heavyweight division, and all he's done is win. And he fought the biggest and fattest cheater in the heavyweight division, beat him twice, almost knocked him out in the first fight. So I don't know why people thought, it would be any different. But one of the things he said was Bud is the best pound for pound. Excuse me.
Whoa! What?
Now, Sheriff Deputy Mac in the chat reminded y'all, Usyk has said Bud number 1 pound for pound. Lomachenko has said Bud is number 1 pound for pound. When they tried to put it on Lomachenko about 6 years ago, and he says, no, it's Bud Crawford. It's Bud. That's what he said. Even when Teddy Atlas was running around trying to say that Loma was, even when he told Andre Ward, an undefeated, still active Andre Ward, and a Bud Crawford who just won on ESPN, he told those brothers straight to their face. He thought Vasily Lomachenko, who lost the second pro fight and never got that win back in blood, got that win back in blood, got that win back in blood, got that win back in blood. He never ran it back with Orlando Salido. He told those brothers straight to their face, I think Vasily Lomachenko's number 1 pound for pound. No one asked him, but had just won by stoppage, and Andre Ward was still active. And he said it straight to their face. So here we are years later. Now, Alexander Usyk's a full-blown heavyweight, well-accomplished, has won every fight in outstanding fashion. He has. And they ask him. He says, I got Bud. And when they ask him why, he explained it. Size thing doesn't matter. Because y'all remember this little thing? Skills pay the bills, right? Skills pay the bills. And Bud has all the tools to not only compete with Canelo Alvarez, but I feel he has this better skill set than Canelo Alvarez. I don't know where this mystique for Canelo comes from. I don't know why people act like we haven't seen him lose. I don't know why people think that this kid is unbeatable because we've seen him lose. We even seen him get gifts. And when I keep telling you that Bud is all wrong for this guy, y'all still talking to me about size. And then you see the stare down, you realize that Bud is an inch taller than him and has a longer reach. If Canelo is not taking this serious, you could have fooled me. He ran out and got Boots. Now, I don't want to talk about Boots being there, whatever. I'm over that now. I said what I said. I meant it. I'm moving on. But if you're not taking this Bud fight seriously, why did you run and get Boots? It's my opinion that Canelo's going to lose this fight. It's my opinion. Well, it's not my opinion. It's a fact that he knows he's in the fight. He knows he's in the fight. And if y'all are not listening to us and we're just, hoping for Canelo to lose, fine. I don't really mess with Canelo anyway. He's a cheater. But I never said he was trash in the ring. I was just disappointed that he felt he need to add clenbuterol to his diet to put him over Gennady Golovkin. And he was caught and punished for that. And that's when he lost me as a supporter. And if I was still a strong supporter of Canelo, I'd say, yo, look, I don't like this Bud fight, man. Don't talk to me about size. Roy Jones Jr. was supposed to get killed by John Ruiz. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Everyone picked AJ to beat Usyk. I beg to differ. Everyone picked Tyson Fury over Usyk. I beg to differ. Beg to differ. He fought both those men twice. He fought Dubois twice. And without getting into the Dubois thing and how disappointed I am, it happened. This man knows how to win. And you know how everyone says today, real recognizes real? I don't think Usyk would have said that if he didn't mean it. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm going to stop right there, Stormy. I'm going to give it to you.
I don't want it. No, listen, for Usyk to give his thoughts that he feels that Crawford is the best in the business, and also the god of Canelo, Dmitry Bivol, did the same. It simplifies not only their knowledge of the sport, which parlays into the success that both of them have had in the sport, because that ring IQ that has been bestowed upon both Usyk and Bivol has shown them the success, or the doorway and path to success, that they've garnered. It's not always about the physicality. I've been saying that for, God knows how long.
Right.
But here you have two of the top men in the sport that those people want to give credence to, and that those very men are wise enough to defer to what is true in he who is the top fighter in the sport. It just so happens that he's been a smaller man for a good part of his career, but the fight in him is as large as any other division that's out there. And people are going to find that out on the 13th as well. So it's just quite wise that he, and again, the god of Canelo, Bivol, have spoken those words. When people speak against that, it's more of their own bias and prejudices that they don't want to acknowledge. It's just like right now when you talk about the NBA and people who want to just place LeBron James ahead of anyone else that came before him or whatever, and they don't even look at the essence and foundation of how LeBron James has become where he is status-wise, because of the longevity, the years that he's played in the league, because of how the rules of the game have changed, because the temperament of his colleagues has changed. He has never been met with some of the fierceness and competitiveness that his predecessors received. So it is a little more open for him. Now, that's not to say that he's not talented and that he hasn't by right accomplished what he has, but under different circumstances. You see, there was a point in time when there was no three-point arc in the NBA, and there have come ball players who have benefited from learning to shoot from range because there was a reward for doing so.
Right.
But what about the guys who could shoot from wherever prior to the men that you see today, but they didn't because there was no incentive to stand behind a certain marker and say, okay, if I jack it up from here, that's an additional 2. And, I can pad my stats. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it changes, you have to also acknowledge the changes that are there for the present person to be awarded consideration. But in boxing, that doesn't exist. You are who you are as a fighter. And though, just like in those other sports that I spoke of, the competitiveness has changed, the fact that the principalities, men don't have the same drive anymore.
Right.
And so there are those who still have the old school drive, who still have that ambition and desire to prove that they're the best. They separate themselves from the rest of the class. But in a participation trophy society that we live in, those who have been on the other end of the separation try for inclusion by acknowledging popularity. Popularity has nothing to do with your efforts in the ring.
Say that. Yep.
It does not. And so as long as you have the intelligence to understand that, there's no argument. But remember, when people argue, what did I say about seeing them from a distance, Drew? You can't tell one fool from another, right? So this is what it is. But again, listen to the men who are at the top of the sport and can acknowledge that, because that humility that they have to be able to give it up for someone else means that they have also taken in what's required to become the best at what they do. And they're still growing. There's still space, a ceiling to reach toward when you can do that. When you want to put down and dismiss and attempt to not acknowledge, you've already arrived at your peak, and you're constantly looking up at others because you're the one that's of low standard. Those are my thoughts.
Well said, man. And salute to everyone in the chat. If I miss you, know I love you. Trick Noty in the building. Salute, good brother. Yes, sir. You see, again, real recognizes real. Usyk has no horse in this race. Usyk is not like he's neutral in this. He ain't got no problem with Canelo. He ain't got no problem with Bud. They're just asking him your thoughts, and he gave his thoughts, and he relates it to him. He was supposed to be outsized, but if skills pay the bills, if you want to define it in this era right now, you see Usyk's picture right there. You see his picture right there. And he understands what Bud is up against, but the most important thing is Bud understands what he's up against. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say he understands it more than Mel Charlo did. I don't see that spirit in Bud. You know, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll know in 2 or 3 rounds if I'm wrong. In other words, if he's going in there just to get some money and lay down, I'll know in 3 rounds. Because it was around the end of the second round, I was looking at Jamel like, what the F are you doing, man? I don't see that in Bud. The prize is different. And at this junction, in reference to Canelo, I want to believe that Bud cares about his legacy. I think he cares, especially if this is his last fight. I think he really cares about his legacy. I think he does. The money's there already. I mean, he's the creme de la creme right now. He got that win against his rival. He was undisputed at 140. There's really nothing anyone can say on paper, right? I mean, you can, but at the end of the day, it's the results. Sort of like Canelo right now. I told y'all, all Canelo wants is a Charlo on his resume. So 20 years from now, when he's going to the Hall of Fame, because he's going to be there, the people that don't know any better, they're going to say, oh, look, he got a Charlo. And we're here, and God willing, when we're around, we'll be able to tell that person, yeah, he got a Charlo, but he got the smaller one. And he got him 8 years past before he was supposed to get him. He never got an Android. And then we're going to have to deal with, oh, well, who's Android? Benavidez beat him. Yeah, well, speaking of Benavidez, he didn't fight him either. These arguments are going to be around. But that's why I always say what we do here is important. There's no way you can justify a lot of Canelo's moves, whether it's ducking Benavidez or popping dirty. You can't justify this crap, but his fanatical fan base is going to find a way to do so.
There's another point that I would like to make too.
Go ahead.
And you've heard me say this. I've spoken to you and a few of the other brothers behind the scenes. Canelo has never been in the ring with a fighter in what he has now, 66 fights or something like that. He's never been in the ring with another fighter with this guy's mentality. And there's something that people have been getting wrong about him from day one. And that's the fact that he's been accused of being a slow starter. No one ever calls a panther a slow aggressor when he creeps up on his potential prey. Assess how they move, what angles that they may necessarily have to take to get at the prey. And then when the attack takes place, absolutely trick, stealth. When the attack takes place, it's sudden, it's quick, it's like, wow, where did that come from? You see what I'm saying? And that's the way this young man has fought. I can call him young because he's still young enough to be a son for me. But that's what he brings. Floyd didn't have that. Because Floyd knew with confidence his skill set and what he wanted to do, and he would just look to make sure that he could place himself in a position that you respect that, and that's that it will be just what it is. But this man, when I look at those qualities about him, it's almost as if he's a person, it's the mentality of a person that maybe not as gifted, maybe not as skilled, maybe not as powerful, maybe not as fast as the other person. So they still take the time out to see what they're working with early and then begin to go to work themselves. That, within the essence of it all, is a type of a fighter's not only psychology, but his disposition. It's an admirable quality because he's still assessing where your weaknesses are. And if he happens to exploit something that is able to be taken advantage of, he'll do that, but he's still poking, probing, trying to see. And in the midst of doing those things, the fight is taking place, and the other guy may be having some success, like maybe landing more jabs or landed a couple of solid shots here and there. But remember, it's a marathon, not a race.
Right.
And when fighters who have that type of quality can dismantle someone, the end is usually sudden. It's usually sudden. It's like, wow, I didn't expect that. Why? Because you were looking at the wrong thing. And it's really that simple. But again, remember, we have all of these sexperts out here that like to try to project what they feel and perceive as knowledge, but they don't have the experience of being adept to assess from all angles. You see, all angles, not just your perspective. Because when you're fighting a fighter, that's why you've heard me say, I hate when people say, oh, that style is all wrong for this guy. Because you're in the fight game. You have to figure out or be taught how to fight the difficult and overcome it. Otherwise, why participate? He's bigger than me, got a longer reach than me, he's faster than me, he hits harder than me. Oh, shoot, forget it. I'm not going to fight him. Right?
Yeah.
So how many in the history would we have seen upsets and ebb and flow and tides turning and all of that stuff, the underdogs persevering? It wouldn't exist if you really adopted that mindset. These things are invaluable, but again, it takes someone who would be a student of it all to be able to absorb and embrace that. A know-it-all will seal themselves shut and be locked outside, lacking knowledge, lacking understanding. That's what I wanted to add. I'm sorry.
Good stuff, man. I'm going to say when Bud beats Canelo, it's not an upset, not to me. It's not an upset. There's a lot of upsets in boxing that are labeled upsets. But if you really knew the sport and understood certain things about the fighters in there, you wouldn't say that. I'll give you the greatest example. Tyson versus Buster Douglas is labeled one of, if not the biggest upsets in sports history. But if you watch the sport, right? Let me just ask y'all a question. I'm gonna keep it very simple. It's an upset. Question. Why Mike never ran it back with James Douglas? Just stop right there.
Let me add to that. Buster Douglas was how tall?
6'5", 6'4", 6'5"?
About 6'4".
Yeah.
And had a jab like Larry Holmes, right?
Like an 80-inch jab or something like that.
Yeah. And he had good mobility, fast hands. And he, on the night that he fought Tyson, he fought the fight of his career because it was Tyson, not because of himself. Understand, people associate and attribute the fact that his mom had passed away and stuff like that. He had promised his mom that he was going to win this fight for her because he didn't know his mom was going to pass away, by the way. She was a person who suffered from diabetes and she passed away from diabetic complications. However, she just was concerned because of Tyson's reputation,
That's all.
And he was like, hey, don't worry. But if you've ever really watched Buster Douglas in the past, it's what he brought to the table that was difficult for Mike Tyson to begin with, which is amazing to me that people would want to equate him with Muhammad Ali, saying that he could defeat Ali. Because Ali had all of what Buster could do, plus confidence that was through the roof, and had a psychological game that Mike could never measure up to when it has been proven that Mike is a mental midget.
Yeah.
So how could you put Mike on par with Ali when Ali beat Cleveland Williams, Ali beat Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, George Foreman? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Ernie Shavers. Mike Tyson would be lucky to survive against some of those men. And Ali beat them all. But getting back to Buster, if you looked at his fights before the loss to Tony Tucker, Buster was beating a lot of dudes up.
People don't know that.
He beat the crap out of Oliver McCall, who Mike Tyson refused to fight.
That was his chief
When
sparring
offered
partner.
to fight several times by Don King because he had gym work with Mike. And so all of these heavyweights were under Don's umbrella of promotions. And he was like, okay, Mike, well, we'll set up something with you and Oliver McCall. Mike Tyson was like, shh, yeah, right. But they labeled Buster a quitter because of what transpired in the Tony Tucker fight. But the man had never really quit. For after 30 plus years, he finally come out and told the story about the problem was between he and his dad behind the scenes against Tony Tucker. And he had gotten a feel of his dad imposing himself, which is why he just shut down and stopped fighting. He gave up. He gave up on the family. He didn't give up on himself. It was like he just was tired of his dad. There was turmoil and chaos going on in his corner, in the locker room before the fight and during the camp leading up to the fight with Tony Tucker. But he was winning the fight with Tony Tucker. He was ahead at the time that Mills Lane stopped it in the 10th round. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, again, when you can understand and assess things from so many different angles and be able to absorb the fact that there's a lot that plays into this, then you understand. But Buster could beat Mike because he had the abilities that made things difficult for Mike. The height, the reach, the hand speed, the fact that he could box. Tony Tucker went the distance with Tyson. James Quick Tillis went the distance with Mike Tyson.
Stop the KO streak.
James Bone Crusher Smith went the distance with Mike. And all of those men shared a similar, excuse my words, similar height and reach advantage. And all of them, to one or another's degree, could box. They could box, all of them. Now, that's to put things in proper perspective. I'm sorry, I just wanted to chime in and add that, brother, because
because that's important, because people don't know. Yeah. People don't know that, Stormy. People only know highlight reels. We're in the age where you want to find out what happened with Douglas and Tyson. You can pull up a 3-minute clip of Buster like teeing off on him, and the excuse is that he didn't take the fight serious and everything. No. I asked a simple question. If it was a fluke, why didn't he run it back? Why didn't he run it back? It's ridiculous, man. No. Stop. Not an 86 in that super chat. Salute, brother. He says, salute Drew, Stormy, B-Man, and to the mighty LDBC, man. Salute to you. Salute to you. Delano, I'm not even going to address you, bro. I'm not even going to do it this morning. You don't know what you're talking about. Just have a seat. Just have a seat. We're talking here. So Mike never ran it back. And later on, Mike turned out to be exactly what I've been saying he was. And I'm not going to discredit what he's accomplished in his career, but to my point that I've always said, a lot of these guys are manufactured. Take that word, because Paulie Malignaggi said it about Mellow Yellow, and take that and everything he said about Tank in 1 or 2 interviews we've been saying for 5 years as it was unfolding. So now we're here. Take that energy and go to his channel and debate him. Don't come over here anymore with no more Tank debates. Just don't do it. Until you can prove to me that you've debated him or somebody in his chat, stay over there. Hey, Hardy, salute. Salute. Happy Labor Day, Queen. Salute. But getting back to this, how does this relate to Bud? Although Canelo has a great resume, the odds whenever he's taken these fights have been in his favor.
The odds
Canelo's,
and the contractual negotiations,
yes, absolutely.
because you can't dismiss the factors of what he learned greatest from Floyd was not the fact that he lost to Floyd and wanted to overcome and correct that loss or defeat, because he never got a chance to rematch Floyd, nor did I think he really want a rematch with Floyd. But he learned to control the environment and climate of a fight when he is up against someone else and he has the position of the venerable A side, and he optimized that to the maximum for himself.
That's right. And I'm not going to call his entire resume a farce. What I will say is that there's a lot of timing involved. A lot of timing involved. A whole lot of timing involved. And I'm not saying Canelo's trash, but there was a couple of things he did career-wise that backfired. He had a near miss against Austin Trout. He had a near miss against Emerson Landry Lava. And he struck out with Bivol. And we keep telling you, he was supposed to go up there and Beterbiev was a WBC champion. That was an alley-oop right there. But he said, you know what? Not that guy. Give me the other Russian. He's a little nicer. He won't knock me out. And plus, he's coming off a poor performance. I could beat him. Beterbiev was on a KO streak. He said, no, not that guy. The other guy. And that backfired. And he never ran it back. And did y'all forget? He was about to run up to cruiserweight to face MacBook Air. But then Badu Jack beat him. And then he hollered at Badu Jack and said, hey, man, let me fight you for that WBC cruiserweight title. And Badu said, hey, man, it's a Canelo payday. Let's do it. They said, yo, here's the thing. Come down 18 pounds. I want to fight you for your belt. 18 pounds lighter. Badu extended his middle finger. And he said, while you take this finger, why don't you go ahead and fight David Benavidez? So salute to Badu Jack for not selling out his soul for the money.
Absolutely, man. And let me add something else to that you were just cooking, and it goes right with what you're saying. This guy has never run back his losses.
Oh my God.
Now, when you said you're not saying that he's trash, but I say I think he is trash. And I'm going to tell you why and give you a great example of it. Julio Cesar Chavez had a long reign of being undefeated until he finally lost to Pernell Whitaker. I'm sorry, Frankie Randall, the surgeon. And I jokingly put Pernell Whitaker in there because that fight that he had with Sweet Pea was not a draw. It was a loss for Canelo. But Frankie Randall legitimately got the victory over him. And he did run it back. But the aura of invincibility had been shattered. Canelo was never the same after losing to Frankie Randall, but he did run it back with him. He never ran it back with Sweet Pea, by the way. Anyway, when you look at the other Mexican greats, Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, these men tested themselves by going right back at their conquerors. And one of the ones I admire the most out of those whom I named is Barrera, because when Barrera lost, he got his ass whizzed.
Sure
okay?
did.
But he turned it around, and in his mind, he realized, I just can't go in there trying to track guys down and get rid of them. I better learn to box.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. And it elevated his game and his status in the sport to a degree that he became on a new level. Eric Morales shared something similar. that he had about himself after losing, he advanced and got better. See, that's the thing. When you get a setback, when you get a real loss, it makes you question yourself. It makes you, and if you don't question yourself, maybe you don't have a competitive spirit, but at least it takes you to a place where you say, you know what? Maybe I am reading my press clippings a little too much. Maybe I am receiving the smoke up the rear end too much from the people. I need to go back to the basics, get back to the drawing board. Let me improve. Canelo has never done that. Canelo has taken gift and favor after favor, and you mix in the cheating and everything, and he's always enjoyed a status that is surreal, but it's
Say
not
that again.
reality. It's not fact.
Say
If
that.
you think for yourself, you would know what I'm saying. That's why his colleagues and countrymen do not respect him.
Uh-oh.
But because they are countrymen, they're not gonna dog him publicly, as they should not. But privately, you could believe they've said things to him. That's why he's not close to them. That's why they haven't engaged like brothers, because they've told him. But he has enjoyed the privilege and favor, and he has lived that way. That's why when you are on that loftiness like that plane of existence, there comes a time when you fall. And the fall from that type of grace, which is not a blessing, it's favor, which is two different things. It's ugly when you hit the bottom.
Man, I like what you said. Enjoying a status. That's what a lot of you fanatics do. You enjoy a status. Do y'all even know what that means? You can celebrate a man's accomplishments all day long. But how did he arrive to that place in your mind where you feel he's the end all? Think about what I'm saying. Enjoying a status. That's what Canelo's enjoying right now. But when we ask basic things, hey, man, we're not saying Canelo's trash, but yeah, David Benavidez over there. And he tries to give you MacBook Air at cruiserweight, but then when he lost to Badu Jack, Badu said, I'm not coming down 18 pounds to fight you. Why wasn't that bigger news again? I missed it. You know what I'm talking about? So you in his my God, his elders, his OGs. Let me tell you, man, they talk about him all the time. Barrera, Morales, Chavez. They gave him the business. They sure did. They gave him the business. And what do some of you people do? They just hating on Canelo. Why? Because Canelo got more money? Who has a better legacy, though? One of my favorite fighters, forget favorite Mexican fighters, one of my favorite fighters of all time is Juan Manuel Marquez. If you don't understand it, just go look at the resume. If you can understand it, if you're educated enough to understand it, you might not know what you're looking at. And I know that's right because, you know, a lot of y'all are D-blowers and you're retarded. And I've accepted that. But I've come to the understanding as it pertains to boxing that people don't know what they don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? People don't know what they don't know. And the problem I have in this generation is that men, y'all are afraid to admit when you don't know something. Let me give you a bit of advice. If you don't know something, the worst thing in the world for you to try to do is argue it. Just because, why? You don't want to be wrong? How many times, see, I lead by example. How many times you heard me say, well, educate me on that. Educate me. Because I might not know. But I'm look like a fool trying to argue with you when I don't know something. Then it becomes an emotional thing. We don't do that here. If I don't know something, tell me about it so I can become educated and then back it up with facts. I'm an analytical person. Most of you can't do that at all because you don't know any better. And God bless you. But a lot of his own people that have solidified their status in the world of boxing, they don't mess with Canelo because of things like that. Let me read this super chat by my brother Derek Gaines, a legend. He says, good question, brothers. I never thought about it like that. Why didn't Mike Tyson run them back? Right then and there, Tyson should have said, I got next. Yeah. Well, he didn't run it back with Buster Douglas, and nobody held his feet to the flames for that. Fought Evander Holyfield. Holyfield beat him up, ran it back, and he was like, well, how do I get out of this? And he bit his ear off because it was about to happen again. You understand? And all y'all could talk to me is about headbutts. Headbutts. So this gentleman right here says, you guys are making up false hope. Usyk never said Crawford will win Canelo. You guys really sad. Well, prove to me he didn't. Because my source is reliable and I don't know who you are. So just because you can't, so if you want to call Blue Blood a liar, then call him a liar. I'm going off of what Blue Blood said, and I'm speaking on it, and I agree with it. You're in here with emotions, and that's fine. And you're saying Canelo will KO. What do you say? Canelo will KO Bud. Mark my words. Okay, you sound like you have a problem with Bud Crawford. I'm impartial in this. I am. Stop lying, Drew. No, I am. I just feel Bud is going to win.
I'm not impartial when I'm supporting who I think is the better fighter and the clean fighter and the fighter who has accomplished by stepping up to the plate of competitiveness.
Sensei, I'm trolling.
Okay,
I'm trolling.
But I'm speaking on behalf of me.
Yeah.
But, it's like, slapping them in the mouth. Because, first of all, what's sad is that someone can sit back and take constructive criticism, which is read by you guys of today as hate. See, you come up in that privileged society of
y'all don't have to block them. Y'all don't have to block them. Let them talk. Y'all don't have to block them. I unblocked them. Y'all don't have to block them. Let them talk. Go ahead, Sensei. I'm sorry.
When you are being told that your shoes are on backwards, when you have been told that you need to pull your damn pants up over your waist and put your belt on properly, when you've been told to comb your freaking hair or go to the barber shop, and someone looks at you and say these things, but you say, hey, you're hating. No, we're trying to elevate you. There's a reason that iron should be in your cupboard. There's a reason an ironing board should be in your home as well. Some spray starch. There's a reason for these items, but some of you don't have any of it. But you want to walk around and state that you're a man. And then some of you, yeah, you could grow a little hair on your face and everything, but you don't even keep it groomed. You look like a bum. And if I say bum, you say I'm hating. But let me show you a side-by-side photo of you and what was once deemed bum, and my goodness, we can't tell the difference, Yeah. The same is with the women. When we say whore, and they say, what are you talking about? Who you calling? And I'm saying, but I see your cheeks. I see your tits, areola, and I see your box and everything. But I show you a side-by-side comparison of a prostitute, and the prostitute may be better dressed than you.
Yep.
And you got the nerve to be offended when someone on the street says something. This is the degenerative generation of misfits. And someone should say these things.
Yeah. So I don't know who this gentleman is. I'm gonna ask you to be respectful in my chat. Somebody blocked you. I unblocked you. All right. So I'm extending you a lot of courtesy. If you have an opinion, you're welcome to it. But I'm going to ask you, because you're a guest. I'm going to ask you. All right. It was a misunderstanding. You're entitled to your opinion. Yeah, I know he made his account 21 hours ago. I saw it. But let him hang himself. I'm going to ask you to be respectful in my comment section, like I'm being respectful to you right now.
And just so y'all understand this aspect of it, you're lucky you're on Drew's channel, huh? Because guess where you would be on mine, huh? With 2 shoes in your ass outside. See, I don't have time for foolishness. And so for those of you who accuse us all of being like-minded and everything, you need to appreciate someone like Drew.
Yeah, well,
because my fuse is very short.
Yeah,
and
well,
you guys don't understand and respect that either. But okay, the lessons will be taught.
We'll see if he wants to talk boxing or just fire shots. All right, the man just made his account 21 hours ago. He's probably somebody else. All right. That you look.
Hold on. Just okay, chat. I want to show you the difference in temperament and understanding of things here. With this gentleman saying that he is 100% sure Usyk knows Canelo will brutally KO Terrence. When is the last time Canelo brutally KO'd someone? Okay, time's up. It was Amir Khan.
Yep.
Now, let's measure Khan and Crawford. They're not even in the same zip code.
They're not. And what's he done since then? He got a loss to Bivol.
That he didn't run back.
He didn't run back. He had a fugazi win against William Skull. And yeah. I mean, Canelo's
he was taken to distance by John Ryder. John Ryder,
right? And whole time, all I've been asking for is for Canelo to fight David Benavidez, man. I'd have been content with that. He's not even doing that.
Edgar Berlanga.
And he came out and said what he's not doing. That's not the mark of a warrior at all. Now, how is he afraid to fight someone that was in his own weight division, but he already had went up to 175 2 times?
Edgar Berlanga was brutally knocked out by a guy that just moved up from middleweight.
That's right. So that discredited the Berlanga fight. Matter of fact, Berlanga, skill for skill, didn't belong in the same state as Canelo Alvarez. And I said that. And Berlanga's from New York, my city. But I know what I'm looking at. I said, no, he's not it. And I say that respectfully. I just said he's not it.
Berlanga was so brutally knocked out that his woman had the gall to say he must have had something in his gloves or something because Canelo couldn't do that to my guy. Well, but Canelo was the damn cheat.
Canelo's the cheat. You know, we're going to breeze all past that. So, you know, Muhammad is in here talking about you guys are very disrespectful. I am going off of what was reported. I'm going off of what was reported. So there's nothing disrespectful about me talking about what was reported. So are you in here and want to talk about boxing? You want to talk about the news? So this is not disrespectful if it was put out there. All right, so I'm going to continue my conversation. You're on shaky legs now. Ain't no way in here fussing with you, and I'm giving my opinion about what's going to happen in the fight. And I'm telling you why Usyk said what he said. Because Usyk, when he decided to go heavyweight, they was like, no, those guys are different. Those guys are different. Deontay exists because he got power, but Usyk's not a power puncher. No. But he's a master boxer. A master boxer. He's not a good boxer. He's a master boxer. And he's proven it. I have nothing bad to say about Usyk. I really don't. But interesting how he says what he says, and getting back to what I said a while ago, Lomachenko, when they tried to put that on him, Lomachenko told these fools, no, Bud is pound for pound number one. Bud is pound for pound number one. That's what he said. That's what he said. So Muhammad says Bud only beat Spence. Muhammad, you're new here? Let me talk to you like you're like you just got on YouTube like yesterday. He says, what type of master is he? This is what I'm saying. Listening and comprehension is the problem. I said Usyk is a master boxer, but Bud is also a master boxer too. Now, you're new here. Let me talk to you like you're new here. I think it's somebody else, but you're new here. I have been super critical.
Let me just add this, Drew, with what you just said about Usyk.
Yeah.
Usyk came up from cruiserweight, right?
Sure did.
What's the heaviest fighter he's fought at heavyweight?
Tyson Fury.
Okay. How many pounds of difference would that, well, on scale, how many weight divisions in separation would that be?
That would have been about 4.
Okay. That settles that.
That settles that. That settles that.
See what happens?
My God. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, Angel. Muhammad, how old are you, brother? How old are you, brother? And while, you know, it might take you 50 years to type in 2 numbers or 1, for all I know. Brother Reef in that super chat salute. He says, salute, brothers. Canelo has a history of fighting lighter boxers, making them move up, and he did it against Josecito Lopez. Y'all forgot about that. Miguel Vasquez. Y'all forgot about that. And Jamel Charlo from 154 to 168. And that just happened. He avoided Benavidez to fight Crawford. Shaking my head exactly. And these are the things that Marquez and Barella and Morales over there on ESPN Deportes have spoken on. And by the way, they also said the Juice Crew needs to be out of the business of boxing. They've said that. They've said that. Muhammad says, yes, it's true. You have blocked me 30 times before because you and your wrenches are very insecure. Oh, my God. Okay, dude. All right, listen to me. Listen very careful. Listen very carefully. If I had to block you 30 times, that's an actual number you want to go with? Okay, cool. You say you're at 22. So now everything's starting to make sense. I don't know what I blocked you over before, but can I ask, if I blocked you 30 times, why do you keep returning? That's just the question, because you're not here to talk boxing. You're here to argue. You're here to argue. You're not adding anything of intelligence to this topic. We are having a conversation off of something that was said, and you're arguing over the information. I told you where I got the information from. If you just pulled up and you missed it, then you gotta rewind it. You understand? So but here's the question. Since you don't want to talk boxing, I'm just gonna, because I'm gonna get back to my show. I need you to, your next thing is what I asked you. If I blocked you 30 times, like you said, just here, why are you back here? Because now I'm thinking there's a problem with you. I will go nowhere. If I've gone to a chat one time in my life and mentioned something and I got blocked, I'm like, whoa, why I got blocked? You know what I did? I left that channel alone. I unsubscribed and I never went back there, and there was no mention of it ever again. And I had a platform. I had a working platform at the time. Yeah, thank you.
Man crush.
Why are you here, Muhammad? See, this is why I unblocked him, y'all, because I need y'all to see things like this. You really think we're exaggerating? 22-year-old Muhammad, why are you here? Yes, I saw your title. I had to educate. You're not educating me at all. I'm educating you. You didn't even know that Usyk said that. And you're telling me he didn't say it. And you can't prove that he didn't say it. I have proof that he did say it. And we're having a conversation and why we agree with him. So you're not educating anything. But get back to it. Why are you here? If I blocked you the first time, why'd you come back? If I blocked you on your other account, why are you back? It had to block you 30 times. That the problem's not me, the problem's you. You see, young man, you're the type of dude that when a girl says, I don't want to deal with you no more, you keep blowing up her phone, getting in her DMs, showing up at her job. Are you that type? Brother, stop. If I have to keep blocking you, that means I don't want to deal with you. How about this? Just in your mind, say that you're right and go on and do a video about me and how I'm wrong. Do that. Can you do that? There you go. Oh, thank you, Copper. Let's bring that up. Thank you, Copper. Thank you so much. Let me just pull this up because, you know, he didn't say it, right? All right. Hold on. Oh, that's the wrong email. Hold on. It's unbelievable, man. Oh, wow.
He's one of them.
Bro. Okay. And, you know, insult to injury, you know who he was talking to when he said this? Another guy that these Brits say is off code, a guy by the name of Carl Froch. Oh, they ain't gonna like this, Stormy. Hold on, let me share this screen, man.
Wait a minute, though. He said that we LDBC people have bias against Mexicans.
Oh, so you're Mexican.
What about the people who be out there who got bias against the LDBC and be calling us all types of names, including words and everything else? Why don't you go to their platforms and tell them about their bigotry?
Hey, Muhammad. Hey, Muhammad. Why do Mexicans have a problem with Honduran immigrants in their country? You want to move the goalposts? We can. You think I don't know about that? The whole reason why the LDBC exists is because of people like you. Now, pay attention to Usyk and Carl Froch. Education.
Round 3. Who's the best boxer, in your opinion, right now?
European.
No, world. Best fighter
World.
in the world, yeah.
I think it's Terence Crawford.
Kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Froggy when he courting, he did ride Crambo. Froggy when he courting, he did ride Crambo.
Go! Muhammad, your thoughts. Your thoughts. Your thoughts.
Terence Crawford.
Many believe it's you. Many believe you're the best fighter.
No, I'm not.
No?
The best.
It's kind of pretty before it gets started.
Go! Muhammad. He said it's not me. You know what? That's crazy because Lomachenko did the same fucking thing 6 years ago. They tried to put it on him. And he said, no, it's Bud. I was like, damn. He said, no, it's Bud. And they're from the same country? And suddenly, I fuck with Ukrainians.
Go!
Man, you must be big, man. You know what? I need BF to send me the picture when he saw Usyk walking around Manhattan and took a picture of him. You would swear that Usyk is a part of the LDBC, right? Wow. That's a British white man and a white Ukrainian, and unprovoked, the man said, no, not me, it's Bud. Now, why would he say that? So now, he didn't say the Canelo thing in this interview, but what makes you think he didn't say it recently?
Wait. Oh, where's Muhammad at, though?
Where's
Where he
Muhammad, bro? Brother Muhammad. Nobody, I hope no one blocked him. Let me check. Okay, nobody blocked you, Muhammad. Your thoughts? I'm asking now. You wanted my attention. I was just doing my show, minding my business. You wanted my attention. Now you got it. And now you have proof. What are you going to tell me this is AI? Now, I heard about this. It was never for me to, because I'm like, oh, yeah, I heard about this. I never watched it. This is the first time me watching it. And salute the copper for sending this to me. I heard about this, but I said, I'm not, it's nothing new. A lot of boxers say Bud is pound for pound. A lot of them say that.
Hey, Muhammad's somewhere right now doing that, what my man from Boys in the Hood, when he closed that door and he was swinging at the air.
Yeah, Trey, I'm so tired of this shit. I'm sorry, Muhammad's probably saying it in Spanish. How do you say I'm so tired of this shit in Espanol? How do you say that? How do you say I'm tired of this shit in Espanol? Muhammad, please type something. 22-year-old, you're supposed to be here educating me. Don't listen to me. Get mad at Call the Cobra Foch and Alexander Usyk right now. Please. Come on, bro. Now look, I didn't want to do this. And by the way, Muhammad, name Canelo Alvarez's favorite fighters. I'll wait. Y'all give you a hint. None of them are Mexican. None of them. They're all black. Even the one that beat his ass. Muhammad, why are you not typing? You see? Now, can you please leave me alone? I'm doing a show here. God damn. Let's see what else Usyk has to say.
Fighter of the world. It's Terence Crawford.
Oh, my God. Let's bring it all the way back, Stormy. Let's bring it all the way back. Let's blow the damn pic. I think you need to see this.
Round 3. Who's the best boxer, in your opinion, right now?
European.
No, world. Best fighter
World.
in the world, yeah.
I think it's Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford.
Many believe it's you. Many believe you're the best fighter.
No, I'm not best fighter of the world. No, I'm not best fighter. 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 No, I'm not best fighter of the world. It's Terence Crawford. 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 Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford, number 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Great fighter, top 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, number 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 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Great fighter, top fighter. So that's a good number 1, but it's debatable, it's subjective, but that's a good pick.
Muhammad, why are you not typing?
Because his
Muhammad.
fingers is in his ass.
You see that? Now you see that? You see that? Now he's not typing, but he was supposed to be here to educate, right? I'm here to educate you, and of course he threw in this LDBC, and I blocked him 30 times. He came in here and tried to disrupt the damn show. We provided you with facts. I unblocked you. Now we finally spoken. Now you heard it from Usyk. Now, what does that have to do with the LDBC or anything? They said that. I had nothing. I don't know Carl Froch. I don't know Usyk. Now what? Now what you got to say? Muhammad, where you at? Now, I've been respectful. Did I curse you out? No. Did I block you today? No. This is the 31st time you've come back here. I finally let you speak. And now you're here to educate and whatever. And now you've heard some things that you didn't even know existed. This is some amazing stuff. I got to chop this segment up and make it a short. Shout out to Mr. Muhammad. I'm curious, what was your other 30 accounts? Because I unblocked you. I unblocked you. I told you, I'm with the shits this morning. You see, you ain't got to scream and curse and holler. What do I always say? Time reveals all truth. Now, you could pick Canelo to beat Bud. It's boxing. I'm telling you why I believe Bud is going to whoop him. And everything's lining up. Guess what? Nobody thought Costa Zoo would quit in his corner versus Ricky Hatton. Nobody thought they'd see that. Nobody thought Evander Holyfield with a heart condition would dominate Mike Tyson down the stretch. Nobody thought that. I can go on and on and on. I can go on and on and on. But see, you're 22 years old, young man. You don't know enough. You were born after 9/11, which is a benchmark in my life. I was a full adult. You don't know enough, which means if you was born after 9/11, you didn't start watching boxing with a critical eye until maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Young man, you don't know enough. So you're welcome to come back. But when grown folk are talking, just listen. Just listen. Stop trying to hear to respond. Listen to understand. When the three wise men were on the air, it was Stormy B, man, the late great Kirk Sugar, and Scrapbook Boxing. That show wasn't for a person like me to participate. You know why? That was a class. That was a master class. That was an education. They were talking about things I did not know. So why am I, other than me asking a question in the chat, I have nothing to add. The problem, didn't I just say this at the top of the show? The problem with the young people today is that they think they're afraid to admit when they don't know something because not knowing something is a sign of weakness. No. You know what strength is? Getting on here and saying, oh, yo, I didn't know that. Tell me about that. That's it. And just like that, you're vindicated. Just like that, you've made a friend. Muhammad, I unblocked you. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. But again, it's called social media. I didn't get on here to make enemies. More than likely, if I blocked you personally, I'm not talking about the wrenches, but if I blocked you personally, you got on here and you was disrespectful towards me. If you get on here and you're typing in caps, oh, F you and F the LDBC. No. I ain't got to deal with you. I just get rid of you. But the dysfunction is, young brother, and you see, I'm still calling you young brother. The dysfunction is you coming back 30 times after you felt disrespected. Your ego, you have to check that at the door. See, that's a failure. And I'm saying this respectfully. Your mama should have taught you better. Or if your dad was around, because there's a lot of, that going on. If your dad was around, he was supposed to assist you in getting that under control. In no universe should a grown man get blocked from a channel and go back 30 times. You said that. Nah, Dion, I don't know if he's listening. I know he's listening because apparently 30 times he came back. He's listening to me every morning. You're mad at the first block, and I don't even know what that's over. You want to talk about it? Muhammad, how about this, Muhammad? Tell me what got you blocked the first time. And then we can get into the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, whatever. You said 30 times, okay? But you kept coming back. You see, family, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making this stuff up. You see, young man, you got to get your ego under control. You got to get your ego under control. I don't want to talk to nobody that got my name messed up in their mouth. I don't want to be around their channels if they're having whole panels about me. That's happened before. I just don't deal with it because I got shit to do over here. Like I'm doing shit over here. We're talking about what Usyk said about Bud. You came in here firing shots, talking about he never said it. Well, you haven't proved to me that he hasn't. And I said, well, he did. My brother Copper says, check your email, Drew. And he pulls up an interview that's 2 months old that I heard about. I never, because, you know, I follow Carl Froch on YouTube. All right. And I heard about it, but I never, there was no reason for me to go look at it until this morning. Now, you said he didn't say it. Now, this is 2 months old. Now, you could have came back and said, well, he said that, but he still didn't say that about Bud. But then my question to you would be, why would he say this about Bud 2 months ago and change his mind now? Because Canelo and Bud was locked and loaded 2 months ago. So you can't prove to me that he didn't say it. And you didn't know that he said this. So when I ask you what are your thoughts, you're not blocked, but magically you're not typing anymore. Young man, this was the education. So when grown folks are talking, young man, do more listening than trying to have an aha moment, because it's not going to work out for you. Facts over feelings. Isn't that what Blue Blood always say? And plus, my soundboard is too flawless. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I have to let the quote-unquote, and see, Muhammad, I'm not going to call you a troll. I'm just going to say you're misguided. You came in here, you insulted the chat, you insulted the LDBC, but what did I do? I unblocked you and I engaged with you, and now you don't want to talk to me, young man. Now, if I was standing in front of you, you know what your look would be? You'd be looking down with your lip poked out like a 10-year-old. I had to reprimand one of my little cousins yesterday. I said, come here, you know, now, why'd you do that? You know you can't be doing that. He was looking around, but he's 8 years old, though. He's 8. But I said, listen, don't do that no more. And guess what? He didn't do it. So, Muhammad, you're not blocked. You ain't got to make a 31st account or 32nd account to come back. Just come on back. And that's right, Coach Hudson. When you're trying to be right, what are you trying to be right about? Now, this is an opinion, and I will say this. In boxing's defense, I could be completely wrong about the outcomes of this fight. I don't think I am. Bud can go in there and lay an egg worse than Jamel. I won't know until the fight starts. But knowing what I've seen about Bud, and that's another thing. I've been very critical of Bud. I've been very critical of Bud. You heard you saw what the kid said in the chat. He said, "Oh, he only fought Spence." Now I was talking about what Usyk said. But now you want to insult Bud? Well, fine. You listen, I've done my share of critiquing Bud. I'm like, Errol did all the heavy lifting. I did. I was critical about that. I also said, hey, man, the problem with this thing with Bud is Josh Taylor just became y'all remember when I said this? When Josh Taylor became undisputed at 140? Y'all remember what I said? I'm going to tell you what I said. I said, here's the problem. Bud needs to concede to the 60-40 with Errol right now. Drew, why? I said, because here's the danger. Josh Taylor, who has the complexion for the protection, they'll hit Bud with, oh, man, you only got Omaha behind you, and you barely got that. Josh Taylor got all of Scotland behind him, a whole country behind him. And Josh Taylor could come in and get the Errol fight, and Errol going to beat his ass, but Josh could steal Bud's thunder. Y'all remember me saying that? That was my concern. Didn't go down that way, but I said Josh Taylor is in a position of power. That's the video on my channel. Josh Taylor, position of power. And it wasn't a shot towards Josh Taylor. He did a good thing. And there was already people saying, yo, Josh Taylor's route to undisputed at 140 was more dangerous than Bud. And it was on paper. And that's not to say that everyone Josh beat, Bud couldn't beat. Bud would have washed him just the same. But I said, come on, Bud, you got to take this 60-40, bro. Did I think Errol would beat Bud? Yes, I did. I did. And what I'm saying is, through the last 3 years, Bud has done nothing but make me a believer. I never hated the brother. I just said, yo, take the 60-40. That was my only thing. That was it. I always say, yo, Bud's a badass, though. Yo, Bud could win that fight. I don't think he's gonna, but Bud could win that fight. And he whooped it. He didn't win the fight. He dominated Errol. I said, well, there it is. The rumors are true. This motherfucker's stronger than he looks, and he got a big old chip on his shoulder, and he's fighting like he's sleeping in the one bedroom with roaches. And when I'm speaking up on this brother, it's out of concern. I just spoke about he got a baby out of, well, he's not married. Okay. I don't want any outside distractions leading up to this fight. He told Shannon Sharp he got a goddamn baby out of wedlock, and he was dealing with that. The good part about it is he mentioned it, and it's not all over the news. I don't need this brother distracted. And going into this fight, yes, I was trolling earlier. I 110% support Bud. I don't only want him to beat Canelo, I want him to dominate Canelo. Because Canelo's a cheater. And y'all celebrating this man's resume, and his resume is not even, it's pretty good by today's standards. But there's things that he has not done. There's things that he elected to do late in his career when he should have did early. There's still no Boo Boo Andrade on there. And I'm telling y'all guys, there's a reason why he never took that fight. But y'all want to live through David Benavidez. But meanwhile, you don't want him to fight David Benavidez. David Benavidez beat Andrade, and y'all can't say, oh, see, what would Canelo have done? I don't know. He never fought him. He was supposed to fight Jamal Charlo years ago. He was supposed to fight Jamel Charlo years ago. Man, Canelo came through 54 and 60 just like they did. He was supposed to been take care of that. But y'all don't hold him to that standard. He wants to fight a Charlo at a heavier weight, but he fought the lighter one. But y'all take that. He tells us, man, only thing David Benavidez has to offer on fight night is an additional 20 pounds. Muhammad, let me educate you on that. Edgar Berlanga came in on fight night at damn near 200 pounds. He was way over 20 pounds on fight night rehydrating versus Canelo. David Benavidez went up to 175, and he was 5 pounds lighter against Vodstick than Berlanga was versus Canelo. And that was on fight night in a heavier weight class. So Canelo Alvarez is a drug cheat and a living and walking contradiction. And I'm tired of it, and I'm still saying that he's going to the Hall of Fame. Oh, now, Muhammad, you want to tight. You still saying, look, and look, young man, that's your opinion. But the problem is when you're coming in here firing shots because you're emotional about something that was said. I didn't say this. Usyk said it. What you mad at me for? First you said he was lying or we're lying. Now you heard it. Address that. You don't have to think. You saying you don't believe Usyk. You don't believe Usyk thinks Bud will beat Canelo. That's not what Usyk is saying. Now I asked you. Show me where he didn't say it. Because I have my sources. What are yours? You don't have any. Lomachenko said he thinks he's number 1 pound for pound. Usyk says he's number 1 pound for pound. These are facts. You could feel how you want to feel. You see what I'm talking about, y'all? What did I tell you about this, about the youth? What did I tell you? Let me ask you a question, Muhammad. Why do you love Canelo? You want to do this? Let's do it. Why do you love Canelo? You're only doing this because you love to hate Canelo. No. I was a Canelo supporter. Xavier's in the chat. He'll tell you it was me and Xavier on Facebook groups standing in the pocket for Canelo. They were calling Xavier all kinds of sellouts because he's Mexican and calling me all kinds of coons for saying Canelo's next up. This is the guy. Like it or not, he beats Gennady Golovkin. But you see, 8 years ago, Muhammad, you wasn't even watching boxing. How old were you 8 years ago? Let's count backwards. You're 22. Let me see. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. You was 14 years old. years ago. 8 years ago, you was 14 years old. Me and Xavier getting cussed out on Facebook defending Canelo. And where were you? You was in high school somewhere. You was in high school somewhere. Freedom's March says, support by throwing some Tetris blocks in the chat. Hit that free like button. Salute you, good brother. Thank you so much. So please, I've been there, done that with Canelo. I can tell you when I stopped fucking with Canelo and why. Now listen to his response. Canelo is the cash cow. Stop right there. Why do you care about his cash flow? This is the problem with the youth, ladies and gentlemen. Now he's going to tell me that he only lost because he went up too many weights. How do you explain Usyk being undefeated? Dominant at cruiserweight, dominant at heavyweight. Then he says Terrence has no chance to stop the BS. Canelo is a monster killer. You've said nothing. That was an empty rant backed by zero facts. I don't know why you're worried about Canelo's financial position in boxing. You saying he only lost because he went up 2 weight classes makes zero sense because he tried to drain Badu Jack. Did you hear when I said that? He tried to drain Badu Jack 18 pounds. And Badu Jack says, yo, you ain't got to fight me. 18 pounds, drain me? No, go fight Benavidez at 168. And he didn't do that. So he don't want to fight David Benavidez at 68 in fear of a rehydration clause, but he didn't apply that rehydration clause to Edgar Berlanga. And he wants to bring up Josecito Lopez and Jermell Charlos from 54. So that's okay. And that's your monster killer? Right. Salute, General. He says, well, I don't believe AIDS just popped out of nowhere. I believe crack has created it. Point is, it don't matter what you think. Usyk said it. So that's it, Brother Muhammad. That's it. You went from arguing whether he said it or not. Now I just showed you the facts. And you just don't believe it. Dude, I want you to read something. I have to put something up. Look. Yo, I'm gonna read it like how he's typing. I can't listen to this BS hate anymore. F you, F Stormy, and F your wrenches. You guys are boys.
You definitely got to chop this up into a short, bro.
Oh my God. You see what happened?
I'm going to take my ball and go home.
I'm going to take my ball and go home. He got the fresh Spalding, fresh off the rack, ordered it from Amazon, and there's no other rock on the block, and he got it, and everybody's dunking and landing up, and no one's even passing it to him during the game. He's like, yo, F you guys, I'm going home. He's saying, yo, we're not passing you the ball because every time you shoot, you brick that shit off the top of the backboard. We trying to win. F you. I'm taking my ball and going home. Playground. He left the whole playground with his rock. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Now, fuck that. Let's run that back for this crybaby.
Round 3. Who's the best boxer, in your opinion, right now?
European.
No, world. Best fighter
world.
in the world, yeah.
I think it's Terence Crawford.
Uh-oh.
Terence Crawford.
Many believe it's you. Many believe you're the best fighter.
No, I'm not the best fighter of the world. It's Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford, number 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Great fighter, top fighter. So that's a good,
yes.
That's a good number 1, but it's debatable, it's subjective, but that's a good pick.
Wow.
Hey, who sent that to you again?
Copper Aborigines, the OG.
Thank you, Copper Aborigines, brother. Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you. I heard about that. That was on Carl Froch's, I think it's on his channel, and that was a DAZN interview. And I heard about it, but, I mean, it was, I was like, oh yeah, of course. I said, well, Usyk said it. Lomachenko said it. I mean, there was nothing. I ain't got no problem with Usyk. All the man does is win. He knows how to win. I ain't got no problem with Usyk. He did duck Deontay, but whatever. That's okay. When Usyk hangs it up, that's another guy. March his ass straight to the Hall of Fame. I have no problem, bro. I have no problem. But we went from dealing with what he said or not, and now I proved that he said it. It's like, oh, well, Bud is just not going to beat Canelo. Y'all hating on Canelo. No, I got cursed out over Canelo. Years ago, when you was 14 years old, Muhammad, I was getting cursed out on social media, getting called all kinds of coons. At what point am I supposed to ignore drug use in ducking fights? How much am I supposed to take? And Bud was right there. I'm like, Bud, come on. Everyone's doing all the heavy lifting. Bud, come on. Take the 60-40. Y'all know I was there. I had no problem with him as a fighter. I didn't like how he was moving. But Errol stepped out of this Al Heyman shit and said, y'all making this fight, and Errol lost. I said, you know what? You got to tip your hat to Bud. I was there, Muhammad. Was you? Did your mama let you go? I bought 2 pay-per-views, and I got on a plane, and I flew out to Las Vegas, and I watched the fight live. That's what I do. Exactly, TC. We bullies, but he came back 30 times. You guys are big meanies. Oh my God, yo. You cannot make this shit up, man. Brother, and thank you for the super chat. Let me educate you, Muhammad. I know you're there watching. I want you to read this. Cognitive dissonance is a theory in social psychology. It refers to the mental conflict that occurs when a person's behaviors and beliefs do not align. What does that mean? You see something, and you know what you're looking at, but your core beliefs prohibit you from seeing what you're seeing with your own 2 eyes. It may also happen when a person holds 2 beliefs that contradict one another. Well, I'm a Christian male, but I can't stop having premarital sex. I don't want to take it too far, Muhammad. I don't want to take it too far. But just look up cognitive dissonance. I just put it on the screen, but you can Google it. And just think about what core beliefs mean. You have a core belief. It's deeper than you don't care. See, I want y'all to understand something. This had nothing to do with what Usyk. It had nothing to do with what Usyk said. Wait. When the fucking bus does the wheelie? Was that a woman with the fucking helmet? Oh God, I'm over here drooling. Oh God, oh I got tears in my. Oh my God, no wait, hold on. I can't. Oh man, I done broke out in sweat.
I ain't played that one in a long time, but I felt it was perfect for this moment, bro.
He said, I'm leaving. You guys are bullies. his 30-second YouTube channel just to come talk to me. He's been, and guess what? I bet you when he first got blocked the first time, it was just, you know what it is, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is, this was never about my opinion, not even my opinion, Usyk's opinion on Bud. This was never about that. This was about him trying to get some get back for whatever reason to me. To me. He just wanted to argue. All right, he might really think that Bud is going to go in there and get sparked by Canelo. Look, this is boxing. At least a guy that I support is getting in there. Unlike Mellow Yellow. But again, don't argue me about Mellow Yellow. You got to put, for you to argue with me about Mellow Yellow, you have to provide physical proof at 1000slaps@gmail.com that you went back and forth with Paulie Malignaggi himself or somebody in his comment section defending Mellow Yellow against what Paulie Mag said. If you cannot provide that proof, I'm blocking you. I am no longer interested because that man went in on y'all 10 days ago now. And I haven't seen one video, nothing. And Paulie was the pro fighter. Y'all quick to put me and BFTB and 78 and anybody else in the LDBC, y'all quick to do that shit. Yo, this is my response to so-and-so, what he said about, yeah, all right, do it to Paulie now. Go over there with that shit. You know why? If he opens up his platform and you go on his platform talking like how you talk, you see, some of us are really nice to you. You get on here with your fucked off English, and you speak English, you're American. I don't know why y'all talking like that. You let you on the panel. You see, we're real nice to y'all. We still look out for y'all. But you take that same, whatever accent that is, in West Bubblefuck America, and you get on Paulie's platform, all those crackers going to do is laugh at you. They're going to talk about how bad your English is. They're going to clown your hood. And then after an hour of that and you getting in your feelings, they're going to get down the box and say, okay, what about, please defend Tank Davis. And Paulie's going to beat your ass verbally. And guess what? It's going to suck. But he's not saying shit that we ain't say. Because I said it. And I tried to get Tank away from that. All he had to do 6 years ago was beat up Lomachenko. He didn't do it. That's all I wanted him to do at one point. And now everybody was in 135, and I'm getting Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia, and instead of Devin, he wants to run up to 140 and fight Mario Barrios and then tell me that Devin's too big. Come on, bro. How am I supposed to defend that? Now let's get back to Canelo. How am I supposed to defend Canelo after all of this shit he's done? The popping of the drugs, and you had to cheat Gennady Golovkin, man? You had to cheat Gennady Golovkin? How many fights did you duck? You tried to drain Badu Jack? What? Are you serious, man? Yeah, I'm going to 175 again. Ooh. WBC, it's got to be better Biv. No, I want Bivol. I'm like, man, Bivol looked like shit in his last fight. And he still lost. And he didn't run it back. So how the fuck you go to 175 two times, but David Benavidez is too big? I'm supposed to support that? Look, Canelo's a Hall of Fame fighter. But he's not invincible. And I think Bud has the tools to expose everything wrong with him. The difference is, Bivol was too nice to Canelo. You see, if Bud gets Canelo in trouble, it's over. And do not be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised if Canelo quits on his stool. Drew, why you say that? Y'all don't know enough about boxing. We've seen this. I brought up K-Rod, salute. I see you. I brought up fucking Kostya Tszyu when he lost to Ricky Hatton. He quit on the stool. Stormy, who did Chavez quit on his stool versus?
Ricky Hatton.
No, Chavez.
Oh, Chavez quit on his stool.
Yeah.
That was Kasazu.
There you go. Quit on his stool. And it was unfathomable. He was like, why are you quitting on his stool? What the fuck? Yeah, it's happened. I'm rocking with Bud. I don't mind being wrong. All right? There will be a post-fight. And I'm going to tell y'all, non-believers, something. If Bud wins like how I think he's going to win, everybody's going to be live. General going to be live. Stormy going to be live. I'm going to do a quick live because I'm not going to be able to sum it up in one post-fight video. I'm going to do a quick live, and I'm going to get out everyone's way. But y'all better not miss LDBC Strong that Sunday. Because I'm going to tell you I told you so. But the General just went live. We're going to get out their way. Stormy, let them know they can find you, good brother.
And everybody can find me right here on YouTube, man. Stormy B Man's the channel.
Stormy the bully. That's what the B means, the bully.
In all caps, but no cap.
Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. It's a brilliant show. Enjoy your holiday. If you're barbecuing today, get it in before the weather changes. It's already changing here in New York. It's getting a little cooler. You know what I mean? Tonight, we're doing Nerds tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't
Top
miss it.
10 moments in the MCU.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Man, salute to y'all. And salute to you, Muhammad. You're welcome back. You ain't got to make another account. Just humble yourself.
Hey, hit that special needs one more time on the way out.
Oh! You know what I noticed? The woman with the helmet on had a rainbow chin strap. So that's a double retard. Oh my God. Man, the General's on, Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.